This is TWiT.
For the longest time, we've known that Windows owns the enterprise desktop. It's all about it. It's everywhere. It's easy to manage. All the infrastructure is in place. And there have been a couple of attempts to dislodge them. Apple made a couple. Didn't work all that well. But when I was still living in D.C. and working for the national office, I remember receiving a box with a Google Chrome. Was it Chromebox? It was a Chromebox back then. The whole idea was that it allowed you to replace workstations, expensive workstations, with easily managed, easily installed, easily maintained devices that provided very basic, simple services that you might need from a desk worker, a browser, email, maybe some spreadsheets. Now, the box didn't work out all that well. It was a little bit limited for us. It didn't tie in very well to Active Directory. We didn't get the management features that we wanted out of it, which is why I was excited by a few stories that were released this past week about Google making a huge push into getting the Chromebook into the enterprise. Chee, follow me with this. The first couple of Chromebooks that I received, they were interesting. They were nice, and I thought, okay, this might be good as a student computer. This might be good as a second or third device that you leave next to the TV. But I definitely didn't think that it had enough power or enough style to really make a dent into the enterprise market. The newest generation of devices, something like the Acer R13, the Chromebook for work, have been fantastic. And they now they integrate native features like Active Directory. They will use Microsoft device management. Do you think that are we here now? Is this an actual option? Is this something that as an IT manager, I could say, these 4 or 5 employees who are going to get $2,000 laptops or desktop are now going to get a $400 Chromebook?
I just bought an Acer R11 Chromebook. The hinge was great. I like having touch. The unfortunate thing is the websites that I use still need to catch up. There's a lot of touch areas. If I use touch, it's not quite usable because the little touch spot's way too small. But the fact that I can now integrate in Active Directory, the fact that I can push out things like kiosk mode. Kiosk mode's something that's been around for quite a while, but the Google Enterprise Management's gotten a lot better about how they do it. So you can actually lock users into specific applications. So kiosk, I'm using Sign Builder, and the ability to be able to go and push a lot of things out, set standards, a lot of things that the enterprise has been wanting is there. It's been I'm not even going to say a long time coming. It's been dribbling in. But when you start looking at this chart, there's a heck of a lot of things in there that really makes a lot of sense. Right. And the apps have caught up. There's actually there's actually a Microsoft version of remote desktop for ChromeOS. VNC for ChromeOS. There's a really good SSH. A lot of things that I need. Heck, friend's laptop just died. The hard drive's dying. So I loaned her my Chromebook, and I was really surprised. I could take her HP Office Jet that's USB only, plug it into the Chromebook, and we were able to print very easily. So a lot of my original perceptions of the Chrome OS have gone away. And certainly in the K through 12 environment, it's pretty decent. There's an awful lot of schools that are just going all in. And the University of Hawaii is a Google university, and it's been working really nicely for us.
Right. And you were talking about the subscription service, about $50 per year per device that you want to use this full feature set. And when you look at the full feature set, it's incredibly enticing. I mean, of course, it's got Active Directory, it's got MDM, you've got single sign-on, you've got all the things that have been the little nitpicks that have kept me from moving devices away from Microsoft and from Windows. And I think even Microsoft recognizes that this kind of strategy might work. That's the whole idea behind S. I mean, that's Windows S. Lou, Microsoft is they're in this weird spot right now, this transition point where as they move away from the Microsoft that they were during the Bomber years to the Microsoft they are under the Nadella years, and they get really into that services architecture group, they don't really care what operating system you're using to run Microsoft apps as long as you're running Microsoft apps. So does that explain why I'm seeing more native Microsoft support inside of competing products?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think Chromebooks obviously definitely hold merit, and they do make sense for the enterprise because again, they allow you to use kind of this remote kind of capability. But I think they're exactly right. It holds merit because Microsoft is, in a personal opinion, is they're targeting Windows 10s, and I think that we actually are embracing the Satya world more so than we were embracing the old monolithic world of native applications. I think we are, especially on the Office team, we think of it like a godsend to be able to deploy new updates to the Office suites much easier and innovate and start to move forward and bring value to customers more so than not. In fact, that's where the power of Windows S plus Office comes in. Is if you've already bought into that ecosystem and you still want kind of the power of a type of a Chromebook type style of device, you get that. So cheaper devices, but still locked down. But then you still get the full power of Office. So, and then that's Office is service delivered. So I think, again, we can continuous update and continuous deliver that application as a service. So I think, and you still get the raw native power of that application. So I think that's somewhere where there's some advantages to both, I think. And again, depending on the enterprise's need, it could either way. You could kind of go either way.
Yeah, and the math is really in favor of that because when you break it down, yes, it was nice to have that big monolithic block of Windows, but do you want to make a $50 licensing fee on 500 million installations of Windows, or do you want to make $1,000 per dynamic seat on a billion devices? I think that's what's really enabling it. They're realizing, okay, yeah, you know what? We should make all these other platforms work really well with the things that make us a lot of money. Go figure that would be in an enterprise discussion. Cheebert, anything left on this? I mean, I'm actually going to start working with a Chromebook full time. It's going to be my secondary laptop. I just want to see how much I'm going to miss having a full featured Windows desktop. Is there something else that needs to come into the picture in order to make this truly an acceptable solution to enterprise, or are we there and now it's just time for acceptance?
Actually, I think the missing piece is VDI, because there's still going to be people that need a full thick desktop, but do they need it to carry it with them? And so we've had Ericom on, and we've had a Wingu on, and we've certainly had a lot of people, talking about VDI. I think maybe, just maybe, this might be what brings VDI back, and especially when we start talking about virtual apps rather than full desktops. I think platform as a service is a dead end. I think application as a service or something like that is combined with something like a ChromeOS based device certainly makes an awful lot of sense to me and allows you to gently ease into a transition. And here's one of the things that actually helped make up my mind about buying a Chromebook. Being able to power wash it before I walk through customs and say, knock yourself out, TSA.
Oh, Cheebert, I can always count on you for a semi-polite rant behind a smile.